Welcome to the HowePodcast101. I am Jake Roberts, and I am joined by Lucas Mitchell. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I am doing really good, and I'm very excited to start this, actually.
Same.
This is something I have wanted to do since I was in 7th grade. We tried to do it. It absolutely failed because we were squeakers back then.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Yeah, and that's something that's going to happen, of course, with the thing they call middle school. It's a rough time down there, and I think we should move on to what they're going to expect from us.
Yeah.
I did want to mention that we are recording from the FBC House Studios.
Just a temporary name, okay?
Yes, yeah, very temporary. And our pastor, Wes, told us that it was absolutely fine to film here, record here, and we are just sitting at a table in one of the rooms. It's a good place to record, and
hopefully it's not too
echoey.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be, but to be honest, we are literally using one mic
on a headset. On my headset.
Yeah.
It's connected to my computer, and I guess we'll just say what to expect from us.
Yes. Let's start out with number one. We are going to be doing a lot of football talk. So this is a very broad range of things. We're going to be doing our very own How Bulldogs talk all the way up through the NFL, college football. Any big football news will be discussed here, and it's going to be great. It's very exciting.
Next, we'll have school activities, and we'll see what's going on, like theater or different club activities that are going on in the Howe High School or Howe Middle School, and we'll have that with Rhodey.
That's a perfect transition. Next segment, make sure to stay tuned. We're going to be having middle school talk with Rhodey, the 8th grader, and that's all I'm going to tell you. I don't think I need to give any more information away. The rest of that will be shared during middle school talk with Rhodey. Now let's move on to number 3, and it does include the middle school talk with Rhodey theme. We will have very many special guests
every week, and hopefully we can get them all together and we can talk and interview them. It'll be much easier just to do it through here, and hopefully that works out.
Now we do have, if someone wants to be interviewed and they are in the school system, they are an important person in Howe, or they just want to be on the podcast because they like it, we are going to be having sign-up sheets for interviews every week, and we'll be picking a few of you to stay on, and it's going to be great because this is just a chance for us to show other people what the fantastic community of Howe is doing for us.
Next, we'll have, other sports like basketball.
Dallas Stars! Woo! Yeah.
Yeah, we'll also have volleyball, basketball, and we'll also include baseball and probably some other like t-ball, I don't know, maybe some other younger sports.
Maybe some local soccer hidden.
Possibly,
a little local soccer, a little flavor of the other sports.
Now, we'll also have what to expect us from our YouTube channel. We'll also post this podcast. It'll be edited, and we'll just expect it to be much better than our raw content that we've expected here.
Right, and that's something that's very exciting because the YouTube channel is much more than just the podcast. On the YouTube channel, we will be recording videos. I will break down some highlights for you, especially since my brother is in the 3rd and 4th grade flag football team. You will be getting a lot of coverage of that because I can go to every game. It's easy to tag along. I can record interviews every week. In fact, I have an interview for you later today. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
This is, it's...
We're just hoping it goes well. But we'll also have on the YouTube channel, I'll be gaming, and we can also have stuff like interviews from different games, and we'll just have short minutes videos, and hopefully that'll go well as well. Next we'll have how long we'll increase our podcast, like how much time we'll increase it by. And I'm thinking that we'll increase it at least like 5 minutes every other week, or just it depends on how much research we're gonna have, because we're going to have different news about Howe because we don't want to just have only sports and only school activities, because most of that's already covered. But we want to do actual like history, or we can also do ads. That's our plan to expand, is just have ads for How and other places, and we're just hoping that works as well.
I also wanted to tag onto that as we increase the podcast, we are going to be increasing the YouTube channel. And what I mean by that is the higher budget we get, and this really depends on ads, guys. So if any of you want to have ads, I will leave my email down in the description below, and you can email me about that. It really, right now, the ads are mostly going to be honestly free. It's like $1 an ad because we have no one listening. It's really going to depend on how many people listen, if we can get the word out that this exists, and yeah, that's really what I wanted to say. And let's move on to the point number 7, which is our plan for hiring and gaining more speakers and employees. So this is really interesting. We have been told by little birdie that we should not hire people until we kind of disclose the fact that we are in charge. And we're going to be giving about a month or so of just us, but after that, the plan is to hire more of us. We want this to be a very, very diverse podcast. We want to be able to dive into different subjects that aren't just sports and aren't just band and aren't just theater. We want to be able to look at the entire town of Howe, and I think that's really something special, because we can finally get out there what the people of Howe are doing that are not being recognized, and it's really good. I'm really excited about this. I think a lot of other people should be too.
Yeah, we can discuss how church events anywhere in Howe. We can also do stuff like, I don't know. What do you think we're going to do for all of this?
Well, I mean, my plan as a specific person is I would love to advance and advertise for the community events that we're going to be doing and stuff. And it's really an exciting chance for us to show to other people the incredible ability of Howe, and to be honest, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. I think we're going to take a quick break, and we will be back with middle school talk with Rhodey. Does that sound good?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Sounds great. Alrighty. All right, we will be right back with Rhodey right after this. To the HowePodcast 101. I'm Jake Roberts, and we're for middle school talk with Rhodey. Rhodey, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good.
You're doing good, and that's always good. And how is 8th grade going for you? Is it going well?
Yeah, it is very good. Playing football, Yeah, it's very good.
Right, in football, let's talk about that for a minute. How is your team doing? Did they get their win on Thursday?
Yes, sir.
That's really good. And what are some other things you do in the school? What are your electives?
I do theater.
You do theater?
And yeah.
How do you like Miss Kelly?
I really like her. She's like one of my favorite teachers.
Oh yeah, Miss Kelly's great.
Yeah.
Football is a very exciting sport. What was the score last week? What was the score?
It was 26-0.
26-0. Wow. I heard a report that it was 26-2. That is even better. Y'all absolutely destroyed them. That's a great job. Who plays quarterback on y'all's team?
Garen.
Garen Langford.
Garen or Ethan McCarthy. They're very good quarterbacks.
Really? Ethan McCarthy plays quarterback now?
Mm-hmm.
That's new.
Sometimes.
Okay.
He's like a substitute.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
So, talk about theater for a second. Do y'all have any plans for a play yet? I doubt it, knowing Miss Kelly, but... yeah, right.
Well, we do have a plan. I think I forgot, like, the name of the one-act play that we're thinking of doing. I think it's, like, something in the door in a black hole or something like that, where the guy's falling through a black hole or something like that.
Well, that sounds exciting. Now, no, people aren't going to know me, but I was in theater last year, and we did a really good play, and it was fun. We did, I can't think of the name right now. Why can I not think of the name? It was called...
I remember it.
Yeah, well, I played Kyle. I was the main character. I had way too many lines to memorize. Didn't memorize them until, like, the last freaking 2 weeks. And then, Miss Kelly was having a stroke. It was fun. I got all-star cast. I would totally go back and do that again, but it's going to be a little weird this year, right? Miss Kelly talked to you about how one-act play is going to be a little bit different?
Yeah, because of all the COVID restrictions and everything, social distancing. She doesn't know if we're going to have to wear masks on stage because, how weird it's going to be. That
would be so weird. The only way I think you could pull that off is if you had, like, some kind of actual mask that wasn't, like, an actual dumb COVID mask.
Maybe, those face masks, like, you can wear it over as, like, those little plastic things.
Like a plastic mask. I can see that working. What's your other elective? What else are you doing?
Tech 2.
All right. Talk about that. Miss Winters. Are you in Tech 1 or Tech 2?
Tech 2.
Tech 2. I never got there, but Lucas did not either, right?
Yeah, I mean, I only went to Tech 1, and then I just became the school aide.
Yeah, I remember that, and I think it's good that you're in tech because tech is good for typing, and I never got to finish my Tech 1 year, and that was always something
COVID.
That I regretted. Yeah, that was sad because we were about to do, we had already done 3D printing, we were about to do photography, and that's something that
we didn't get to do photography either.
Right, that's something that I'm very big into.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, are there any other sports you play?
Baseball.
Baseball?
Basketball.
Mm-hmm.
And
so you're involved in a lot. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's really good. And by baseball, what position do you play in baseball?
It's either pitcher. Well, I can play any position, but mainly it's pitcher or second base or catcher.
Sounds good. Sounds like you're a pretty good baseball player.
Yeah.
Football, what position?
I forgot.
I would assume wide receiver. Is that correct?
Yeah, wide receiver and linebacker for
That's
defense.
correct. Okay, yeah, linebacker.
Okay.
Yeah, so those are some pretty good positions. I didn't really play. Let's just be real. I kind of stayed on the side. That's we're not going to worry about that. Yeah, so I didn't really play football, but when I did play, I played left tackle and defensive end. It was fun, except it wasn't at all, and it sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm more of a basketball player. I'm not the greatest at that either, but I enjoy it, and that's all that matters.
I admit that you're pretty good.
Well, I mean, last time that me and Rhodey played basketball, he beat me, and see, that's a shocker because he is like a lot shorter than I am. You can't see that because we don't have any visual, but he's shorter than I am, and that's something that's funny because really he's a good basketball player, especially if he was taller.
Yeah.
If you were taller, I think you'd be really good, and I think you beat me with a last-second shot to win in the youth building. Yeah. That was fun. Any of you that like to play basketball and are in 7th through 12th grade, join us Wednesday nights at FBC Howe Youth. It's a good time. There's food. Wes talks. We do some worship. It's really fun. You should definitely join us if any of you out there want to. lastly, I just really wanted to ask you, 8th grade. So you are being prepared for high school now.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What are your thoughts on that?
Really, when I'm thinking about, like, when I get into high school, I'm thinking about going into athletics, like, for football and baseball, and maybe a little basketball. But mainly besides that, I'm just really hoping, like, just to get through it without really anything bad happening or anything
As do
stupid
all of
happening.
us.
Yeah.
As do all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for joining me, Rhodey. It's been
pleasure.
fun having you on the show.
My
We will
pleasure.
do it again.
All right.
Alrighty.
I would love to do that.
See you later.
Bye.
Next up, we are going to be taking a quick look at how 3rd and 4th grade flag football win over VA. Yes, that's right. They beat VA 18-12. We'll see you right after this. Back to the HowePodcast101. You know me, I'm Jake Roberts, and we're rejoined by Lucas Mitchell. How you doing?
I'm doing good. You?
I'm doing great. I think Rhodey did an absolutely fantastic job. And what do you think?
I think he did well. I mean, there's some ideas that he could have polished on and talked better about.
Right.
But, I mean, the history and whatever happens in middle school is quite interesting.
Right, yeah.
I mean,
Middle school's pretty rough.
Yeah, I mean, you're at the top of the food chain as an 8th grader. I mean, you're about to move on to high school, which you can be a really little fish in. I mean, it's pretty hard and pretty tough in high school. I mean, he's got to enjoy 8th grade or middle school as long as he can.
Right, and we lost the end of our 8th grade year, and that's supposed to be the most fun time of 8th grade, so that was pretty sad.
That was pretty sad.
Yeah, and I didn't even get to do photography, as you heard in the last segment with Middle School Talk with Rhodey. Make sure to stay tuned. Every week we are going to be having a new person on, but enough about that. Let's move on. Now we're going to be taking a very quick look. This is going to be pretty short, but it's just like a little, we're going to go through the Howe 3rd and 4th grade flag football team. They beat Van Alstyne Saturday in Salina 18-12. This was a fantastic game. They were up 12-0 at halftime, and they were up 18-0 at one point in the late fourth quarter. That is when Van Alstyne kind of made sort of a little bit of a comeback. They made it interesting in the last when Gavin threw a pick, but we're going to go to Lucas for the stats now.
Now, Gavin, the quarterback, he threw 3 touchdowns, and Aiden caught all of the touchdowns, and Hal still hung on to the VA. I mean, they did really well in that game.
Right, and I interviewed one of the players. I interviewed Cam, who is a running back on that team. We'll have that interview for you right now. I'm here with Cam and Brett after they just got a win over Van Alstyne, 18-12. Cam, how do you think that game went?
We, at the end of the game, we started just to choke up a little bit. So the other team got an interception, and he made a touchdown. I mean, I feel good, but I didn't do good, but I feel good.
Well, your team won, and that's all that matters. Thank you so much for joining me. Now that you've heard that interview, let's break that down. Cam's a good kid, and it was definitely good to go get an interview with him. It was good to go to the game. It was a very nice afternoon in the mid-80s.
Yeah, I mean, pretty windy out there.
It was really windy. That is true.
Yeah.
So we're very glad that we got to go to that. I plan on going to the rest of the flag football games throughout the season because it's now my job. So if anyone, I actually would like for people to send me the scores of the other games so I can report on those. And if you happen to have stats, that would be great. But if you don't, I understand. And I just want at least the scores. So all I can get is 3rd and 4th grade flag football. But if I can get someone to send me the scores of the 1st and 2nd grade flag football and tackle, 3rd and 4th tackle, and 5th and 6th tackle, I can handle the rest. I can get JV scores easy enough. And this is a good opportunity to be able to figure out what the scores are, and fans can support all the local teams, and it's not just the high school and middle school teams. They can support the youngins too.
Not face the team that is as quick as Dallas in these playoffs. Right to the slot, intercept, score! Dallas connects first.
That's right, you just heard it. Welcome back to the HowePodcast101. The Dallas Stars win Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals. Let's be real, guys. No one expected this from the Stars, right?
Yeah, it was really weird at first, but, I guess they got it.
They are doing fantastic this year, especially after they fired their head coach in January. And this was a surprise to anyone because Rick Bowness, the current head coach of the Dallas Stars, has never won or even been to a Stanley Cup final before. And to win the Game 1 is just really exciting. Now, I watched this game. These Stars' defense is suffocating. Tampa Bay's a number 1 seed. And it really they're just really good at what they do. And they were not last night. Because Dallas is they're suffocating on defense, and they know what they're doing on offense.
Yeah, they just played well, but, they just choked on that last bit.
Yeah, it's really good that they came away with the win. But now we got to look towards Game 2, which is Monday at 6:30 on NBC. Everyone, make sure to jump on the Stars bandwagon if you haven't already. The Stars need more support than ever right now as they have no fans in the stands because of COVID. Yeah, well, this is the weirdest year for the Stars to win, but I'm not going to argue with it. The Stars are going to win this. I have a feeling. They are a really talented young team, and they're going to be around for a long time to come.
Yeah, it's just going to go well.
Yeah, we're really excited about this. We're really excited. That's really all we have for this segment. I think we will go to NFL predictions for Week 2. We'll have that for you right after this. Welcome back to the HowePodcast101. I'm Jake Roberts, joined by Lucas Mitchell.
What's up?
We're going to be going through some NFL scores now. These are not going to be up to date. I'm just going to be honest. That some of them will be, some of them will not. We are recording this currently at 4:12 p.m., so not all the games have wrapped up yet. We will give you our Sunday night predictions later. But first, we're going to kick off the first game, Washington 0, Cardinals 17. It's still very weird for me to have to say Washington instead of Redskins. I think that the Cardinals are a very good team this year. And something that I've liked about Washington is their quarterback seems to be doing better in his second year than he did in his first. But that's just me. Really, we don't know anything. The Washington football team, gosh, that's so dumb, beat the Eagles last week in a nail-biter. But, I mean, the Eagles are not looking good so far. And the Cardinals are looking good. They beat the 49ers last week, and the 49ers were in the Super Bowl last year. So, I don't know. Seems like Cardinals could be a team to watch out for in the NFC West.
Yeah, next we got Bills and Dolphins. The Bills at 31 winning, and the Dolphins at 28. And, I mean, Bills made playoffs last year, and then they're doing pretty good now. I mean, I think they're going to do pretty good throughout these weeks. On Dolphins, we got our new drafted Alabama quarterback, Tua, drafted 5th overall. And now we got also the Chiefs. The Chiefs 0 and Chargers at 7. The Chiefs are just not looking good. I mean, their defense is all right, but they're just not really looking good.
I just wanted to add something to that. And the Chiefs last week struggled offensively towards the start of the game and kind of kicked it into high gear towards the end of the game. I just wanted to add that because, kind of just the Chiefs' whole season last year was based on their ability to score points last year. And we'll see if they can continue to do that. Or, we have a new update. The Texans have just scored to pull within 3 to the Ravens. The Ravens have 10 and the Texans have 7. This one might be a little bit tighter than we thought. Huh?
Yeah, I mean, it's just going to be really weird this time.
Yeah, it's going to be weird because last I checked it was 10-0 and the Texans have just scored. So that's really a shocker for me. I'm very happy to see that the Texans have scored because, I mean, local Texas team, I will be rooting for them throughout the year, even though it could be a rough one. It could definitely be a rough one.
Yeah, I mean, we got the Giants losing at 13 and the Bears at 17. I mean, Bears doing pretty good. I mean, overall, they kind of just, both teams just bad. They're just playing really bad. I mean, offense, defense. I don't know. I think this sort of close game, not even that much of a close game. I mean, just looking at it, it was just not at all good. I don't really know what to say about them.
Yeah, both teams have not been good. The last time any of these teams were good is in 2012. Both teams went pretty far in the playoffs, if I'm not mistaken. Now we're going to move down to the Falcons and the Cowboys. And man, this was a thriller. Cowboys were down 26-10 early in the game. They looked like they were getting smashed offensively. Defensively, they could not stop the Falcons. And clearly they couldn't stop the Falcons throughout the entire game, as the Falcons did score 39 points and the Cowboys scored 40. This was
really
a nail-biter. Yeah, this was a nail-biter. If you're a Cowboys fan, you're really excited about this because the Dallas Cowboys bounced back from last week's heartbreaking loss to the Los Angeles Rams, and it was a tough pill to swallow. That's all I have for the Cowboys. Oh, I did want to point out that at one point in it was mid-third quarter, if you ever watched this game on recording or highlights, the most incredible catch of the season so far, Amari Cooper made it for a 53-yard catch and run. It was like one-handed.
Incredible.
Yeah, he like extended his left hand, and Prescott overthrew it slightly. He extends his left hand, catches it, kind of bobbles it a little, hauls it in, runs for about 5 more yards. And I guess let's move on to the next score.
Yeah, we got the Lions and the Packers. The Packers just, I don't know. Packers did pretty well. I mean, Lions at 21 and Packers at 42. Them winning. I mean, we just got the Packers continuing their hot streak from last year. They're just doing pretty well throughout that game.
Right, and Aaron Rodgers throwing multiple touchdowns once again is absolutely incredible. Moving down, we have the Jaguars and the Titans. Titans finally pull away with this big-time scoring fest game. And we kind of expected this. We expected Derrick Henry to be able to make runs and make plays happen. And the Jaguars, with Gardner Minshew, the quarterback, he is doing not bad so far, especially since the Jaguars are such a rough team. It's definitely tough to guide that team, especially through the... Jaguars will not make the playoffs. Let's just be real here. They're not going to. All right, let's move on to the next score.
We got Vikings with 11 and Colts at 28 winning that game. I mean, from week one, they had a really hard time really rough week one. Just bouncing back from that. I mean, close to double the score of the Vikings. They're pretty well.
Yeah, absolutely. And Phillip Rivers looks like he had an absolutely incredible game right there. Definitely bouncing back from week one where they lost. They were winning at one point in that game, then they came back and kind of lost the game late towards the end of the game. Now we're going to move down. 49ers 31, Jets 13. No shocker here. The 49ers were in the playoffs last year. They made it to the Super Bowl. They barely lost to the Chiefs in a nail-biter of a Super Bowl in the last NFL game that had a full stadium, that is. And the Jets, well, I mean, is there really anything? It's the Jets. That's all I'm going to say about that game.
Yeah, and now we got the Rams 37 and winning against the Eagles at 19. I mean, the Rams just continue to dominate. They're just doing really well during this weeks.
Right, absolutely. And after they beat the Dallas Cowboys last week 20-17, they continue to dominate the NFC East when they absolutely destroyed the Eagles here. 37-19 to the final on that one.
Just gone.
Right, they're just done. They're
obliterated.
Yeah, they've been Thanos snapped out. Okay, moving down, we have Broncos losing to the Steelers. Now look, the Steelers are really an interesting team because Ben Roethlisberger got hurt last year and was knocked out, and Kyle Rudolph, Kyle, I believe that's right.
I think so.
Oklahoma State quarterback, came in, did a decent job, kept them at 8-8, and the coaching there is just wonderful. Now the Broncos, they have not been good since 2016. They're going to be better this year, but their quarterback, Drew Lock, was carted off the field in the second quarter, which is something that's really just not going to be good for them in the future. They're really going to need to pick up the pace on that if they want to win.
Yeah, now we got the, I don't know, they just, that picking up the pace, they're going to have to do much better throughout the weeks.
They're going to have to do much better. I agree. Yeah.
With the Panthers at 17 and just completely being dominated by the Buccaneers 31, Brady leading that second career game with the Bucs, it's way better than the first.
Right, and against the Saints, that was clearly a tough one. He threw 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions, something that we are not used to from Brady. Brady is usually very precise with the ball placement. Now we're going to move on to the games. Well, 2 of these games we don't know the score of currently. It's Patriots-Seahawks. Very, very excited for this one. I'm really excited to see what Cam Newton can do against an actual quality team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be pretty crazy.
It's going to be interesting. It's going to be Cam Newton versus Russell Wilson. It's really going to see who can make the big plays. I'm going to go ahead and give a prediction here. I think it's going to be Seahawks 27, Patriots 24.
Why do you think that?
Well, it's gonna be a tight game, I believe, because I believe Bill Belichick's coaching is just really good. It's really solid. Yeah, and I believe they're not going to be able to pull away from the Seahawks because the Seahawks are a very, very good team. Every year they've been in the playoffs, and it's only because of Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson leads that team every year in every stat a quarterback can possibly lead a team in.
I don't know. I think the Patriots will just do pretty well. I think they'll get.
You think?
I think they'll win.
So you're saying the Patriots are going to win? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
What do you think the score's going to be?
Possibly just up to like 33.
33?
Something like that.
Okay.
For Patriots. Maybe the Seahawks probably going to come in at a little lower. That's 27. I think the Patriots can pull in that clutch and just get in there and get rough with it.
Really? All right. So we have two different predictions here. We will see who comes out on top. What we are going to do is we're going to try to record for the next few weeks before the games start or during the afternoon games so we can have some more predictions.
Yeah.
Predictions are always fun, to be honest with you. I'm really interested to see who's going to pull out on that prediction right there because we will be keeping score all year to see who has the better prediction right
Definitely.
there. All right.
Now we got the Browns winning 35 to the Bengals with 30. And I don't know, just Browns finally getting a win over Bengals in Battle for Ohio.
Right, yeah, and something notable about this game is Joe Burrow had 30 points on my fantasy team, and I did not start him over Mahomes. And something I said earlier, yes. Okay, it looks like the Chiefs have scored. It is now 7-6. The Chiefs have scored, and it looks like either they've missed their extra point. Yeah, they've missed their extra point. And another scoring update, Cardinals have put it to 20-0. Wow. That's rough. Ravens have pushed the Texans to 13-7. That's the only scoring updates we have. All right, moving down now to Saints and Raiders Monday Night Football. The first time Monday Night Football has been on ABC since 2005. And it's because of the ratings. The NFL ratings have been lots lower based on the fact that they are trying to put politics into the game. And that's something that has significantly lowered ratings in the past.
Yeah, I feel like no one really cares about the politics, and they just rather watch the football game.
Right, I agree. And a lot of people are saying that the players just want to use their platform to share what they want to say. And I disagree with that. I believe that this is the best time to just play the game, earn your money, and go somewhere else and talk about that.
Yeah.
All right. Now let's get some Saints and Raiders predictions. Monday Night Football. I'm going to start with this. I think the Saints are going to come out on top. They're going to win 17-14. It's going to be a tight one, though, because it's the first game in Las Vegas for the Raiders.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that prediction. That's a pretty good prediction. I mean, Saints just overall, I think they're a better team over the Raiders. But maybe the Raiders could pull off something lucky. Who knows?
It'd definitely be something lucky for sure. And we're looking forward to seeing what's going to happen in the coming weeks, as the NFL is going to continue to get more and more crazy. Yeah. We will be right back after this quick break. We're going to come back with prediction against Pottsboro and a look back at the 7th and 8th grade games. Welcome back to the HowePodcast101. We are going to be looking at Howe Bulldogs varsity football.
Yeah, I mean, the varsity is just doing really bad. I don't know, the Cardinals, what do you think about that?
Well, Pottsboro is definitely a very good team. They made it to the state championship a year ago. They lost. It's going to be a rough one.
Really rough.
Yeah, not too excited about this game, but I am excited for the Bulldogs to see if maybe they can make a comeback from what they've been doing, right?
Perhaps, yeah. They're definitely just improving along through their games. They might be losing really bad, but they're much more room for improvement.
Right, and I really wanted to point out that against Sanger, they were playing a 4A team. So a lot of you that did not listen to the game on the Howe Enterprise, Sanger is a 4A team. 4A, and Howe is barely 3A. So,
I mean, I think that's... I mean, it's not really... We can't say unfair in these games, but, I mean, looking at it, it's just... We don't have much of a chance against it.
right, and Pottsboro's definitely a really good team.
Definitely.
So, I think now let's take a look back at the 7th and 8th grade games. Is that fair? You want to start with the 7th grade?
Yeah, 7th grade, at a 12-20.
Yes, they lost. Yeah, they lost. 7th grade lost 12-20, and they were playing, I heard from, actually Rhodey, shout out to Rhodey. Rhodey told me that they were playing Whitesboro. That's correct, Whitesboro.
Yes.
And 7th grade lost 12-20, while 8th grade, a dominating win, 26-0. I learned that from Rhodey earlier in the game, or day, not the game. Well, it's been a good day, don't you think?
I mean, we messed up a little bit throughout here, but the edited version will be on YouTube, so hopefully that'll go well.
Definitely. I think we should end with one thing. Let's give score predictions for Howe at Pottsboro. You want to go ahead and kick us off, or do you want me to kick us off?
Yeah, you can kick us off.
All right, I'm going to kick it off and say that Howe is going to lose this game 35-14, and that's, yeah.
I mean, I guess the touchdowns, I'd have to, basically completely agree with that. Cardinals will probably have a leading gain on them, and it depends on how they play in the first and second half. If they play good in the first half, they might not make it in the second half. If they don't play good in the first half, they just might do a little comeback on the second half. But mostly just their defense and offense. I think their defense will be a little... I don't know. I think it's
going to be
little
rough around the edges.
Yeah.
It's going to be rough around the edges.
But the offense is a little better. So I think that they're going to get a few touchdowns. Maybe just the 14 to... What was it? 14 to...
35-14. That's what I'm thinking it's going to be the score.
I don't know. Cardinals seem like they could just choke, maybe. But that's much of a doubt. And we're just going to hope that Howe is going to do much better this time.
Of course. Go Bulldogs. And I just wanted to end by saying that it's been a good day. And if any of you have any thoughts, I'd like you to email me and let me know. I'll leave the email down in the description.
You can also
let me know what you want, and we'll go ahead and let Lucas say it.
Yeah, you can just comment down in the section and give us ideas instead of having to email. You can just put it down in the comment section, like and subscribe. It'll help us out much better, and just put out the word that this exists. It's much easier to get it out.
Yeah, make sure to share this video. I think that's definitely very important. For those of you that like this and think that we should continue to do this, it's important that you share it with other people that you think would like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something that's very important. I want to thank you guys so much for listening to the first episode of HowePodcast101. It's been a good one, right?
Yeah. I mean, we're doing pretty good.
For me, Jake Roberts, and Lucas Mitchell.
What's up?
We're signing off for now. See ya.
Bye.